Welcome to Martini Time, the happy time of the day. Let's ask my frog to dive down into the pond and come up with a golden ball, an idea that excites us. So the idea I've been working on today, hold it a minute, is the bull ring of sexual abuse or just abuse. So I came up with this analogy today that kind of like helps explain to me what's going on suddenly as the topic of our collective mind is sexual abuse, namely Roy Moore, Al Franken. Are they equal? Does Al Franken stand up in the lineup with Weinstein and Kevin Spacey and Roy Moore and Trump and Clinton? Does he stand up there equal in his sin? Let's look into this. Okay, so let's take a look at the bull ring. Now we're going to play with some ideas here that may be foreign to you. So we'll just don't make any judgments and just be open to it. Now the bull ring, because we don't have that, we don't play that game here, but it's big in Spain. It goes back to the Mediterranean countries, Greece, and so forth. In mythology, the bull is the consort of the goddess. And the goddess is the womb of phenomena. She creates and destroys form. She gives birth to form and takes it back in death, like the tide, coming in, rising and falling. The goddess, you see. The moon changes. The moon is the consort of the goddess in mythology because of the horned crescent moon. The bull and the crescent moon are the horns of a dilemma, the pairs of opposites that the phenomenal world ensnares us into, you see. Phenomena, the flesh, snares us, gets us entangled in this tar baby, in this perfect trap, in the horns of a dilemma. The double bind, which I keep talking about, snared, entangled, the sticky pad. You see. It's all in mythology. The labyrinth, the entanglement of being caught in the stench of lies. Apocalypse Now. We get caught in our lies. We get caught in our deceptions. We get caught in our attempts to get out of the snare, the struggle, the double bind, you see. So the bull is associated with that. Now the matador, with his sword, is a phallic symbol, the male principle. The bull is the female principle. Now we have a battle in a ring, you see, which is the world, the ring of the world. This is a cosmic battle of man against nature. The goddess, Mother Earth. How does he subdue her? How does he control her? You see. So the bullfight is a ritual of death and renewal. It's also a ritual of conquering nature. Of man conquering nature. We do that. Science conquers nature. Science is analytical, it's kind of phallic. It penetrates nature, discovers its secrets. You see, explores nature. It's a male principle. Okay, so now in the bull ring, we have a combat, a ritual, because it's done over and over and over again. So it's a great mythological meaning. And because there's blood on the sand, you see, it's a living ritual. It's not just a video game. It's not just like wafers and grape juice at the church. There's real blood in this thing. Animals die. You see them die right there. So what's going on in this combat? Well, the matador has a cape, and his job is to get the bull off its center. He gets the bull off its spot. Its spot. When you have your spot, when you can sit in your spot like the Buddha under the Bodhi tree, you can't be moved. Well, we know a lot of people, martial arts people, a lot. This is big in Asia because you're talking about your ki, your center of gravity. If you can find your center of gravity, nobody can push you over. You find your spot, you see. If you lose your spot, you're a pushover. You're off balance. So all of combat, all of sports, all of war is about getting the other side off their spot, pushing them over. Sumo wrestling. When one wrestler loses his spot, he's thrown out of the ring, you see. So the bull is made to lose its spot, its center, by the cape. So it thinks that the matador is behind the cape. And the bull is stronger than the matador, so he charges the cape, and the matador goes right by, off center, and the bull exhausts itself. And then finally, when the bull is exhausted, he gets killed because he's lost his spot. When you lose your spot, you die. All right, so let's jump this now to sexual or any abuse. So now you have a male matador and a female. Okay? And the male, aggressive male, wants to take the female's power. Get her off her spot. Steal her power, you see. And so he takes the power, creates a situation where she can't escape, takes her power against her will, and then leaves her powerless so she can't attack the matador. So the sexual abuse splits the abuser's abused mind and divides it against itself so it can't attack or get its power back. Its power's been stolen. And this is why people who are abused are wounded. And it takes them a long time to get their power back. And the woman knows that if she goes against that matador, that male, in the public ring by herself, she's going to lose and be shamed again and be wounded again. And besides that, she has no power. He took it away. He still got it. But you see, the aggressor is in a ritual too, because he has stolen the power and he knows that it's not his power. He stole it. So there's an essential guilt there. So he has to keep doing it again and again in a compulsive ritual to keep restoring the power because it can't hold. It's not his power. He stole it like Prometheus. So it waters away. So he has to keep doing it over and over again to keep his power back so he can stay on top, you see. And it's a downhill slope. Because what's happening today is the conditions are changing and the abused females are becoming a herd of bulls. Now a herd of bulls defeat the matador because he can't, it's like a lion. He can't select one to get off the center. They're all in their center. He can't attack one and defeat it because they're coming at him as a herd. The bull loses when the matador loses when the bulls unite. But one-on-one, he wins. Isn't that interesting? Now the wound that is created by the invasion, and it is an invasion. Aggression doesn't have to be sexual. It can be psychological. A lot of parents, fathers, mothers, psychologically take the child's center. So he's always dependent upon the parent. He never gets his center. And what happens to the victim is that he becomes passive-aggressive. In other words, he can't attack the superior parent, So he attacks passively. And he has to attack. But it's going to be passively. So the father tells the son, son, go wash the car. And the son goes out and washes it in slow motion. So, hey, are you not? No, get off my back. Have you finished the car? Well, you get off my back, I'm doing it. Drives the parent crazy. Because the son's doing it, but he's doing it deliberately to attack the parent, you see. But he can't confess that because he's doing it. Can't you see I'm doing it? So that splits the parent. Now the parent says, well, maybe he is doing it. Maybe I'm being a little judgmental here. So passive aggressive flips the game. Now the aggressor is split, and he doubts if he's being too aggressive here or not. You see, isn't that interesting? So think about that. This is going on all over the place, particularly in adolescence. You see, even in racial relationships, how does the slave attack the master? Passively. They can't win if they attack aggressively because the master's got the dogs. So the slave attacks passively. And that's continuing today. But anyway, that's another story. So we're looking at the wound and why once you're wounded, you can't regain your power because you don't believe you've got power. He's got it. When somebody steals your power and you let them, or you believe they stole your power, that you're wounded, I'm a victim. Victims are running all over the place today. What is a victim? He stole my power. I don't have any power. So the victim can't get his power back because he believes the other one's got it. He's got no power. So he stays wounded and then identifies with being a victim. And then victims unite, you see. Why do victims unite? To get power. And now you got Trump. Or any other group of victims who unite to get their power back. You see. So anyway, our society is just full of this stuff. And you really have to understand it and see the game in it. If you can understand the operating system, you can fix your computer. If you don't understand how your computer works, its operating system, you're always calling for tech support. Would you come over? My computer's stuck. Everything's frozen here. I'm a victim of my computer because I don't understand how the damn thing works. And I don't want to understand because I like being saved. Oh, you're so strong. Come save me. Come fix my computer. Oh, yes. You see? And the computer guy, oh, yeah, come fix your computer because I'm the savior. I'm the fixer. So they're a match made in heaven. The victim and the fixer. You see? It's all identity. You see? So the fixer gets his power by fixing victims. And the victims get their power by being fixed. That's a dance. So you need to understand how this works. You need to see in your own life, in your own everyday, mundane, average, everyday life, relationships, marriage, kids, everywhere. The game is on. Sherlock Holmes. Oh boy, I loved that when it was on a little while ago because Sherlock would not rise up unless he had a interesting game or interesting murder, you see. Mundane stuff, bored. Get out. Oh, something's in that one. And he says, the game is on. And he runs out the door and Watson runs after him. The game is on. You got to have that kind of interest in figuring out what the game is. And you can do it because you have the power. So, oh, I can't figure it out. Well, you're just giving up your power. You have the power to see. That's what the power is. The power to see the game. And when you see the game, you don't have to play it. And when you don't play, your opponent can't play either because he needs you to play in order for the game to be on. You see? Both have to play in order for the game to be on. And of course, each one blames the other one for the game. But they need the other one. They are Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers in the dance together, you see. Unless you can see the operating system, the rules of the games we play, you're going to be entrapped by them, suffering in them, and blaming the world or God or the devil or your wife or your husband or somebody for it, you see. So Buddha says that that life is suffering. Well, let's retranslate, say the game is suffering, and there is a cause to the game, and if you see the cause, you end the game. So if you see the rules of the game that you're playing unconsciously, by being curious to see what the fuck is going on here. I don't know. I want to know. I want to see this. I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't be stuck in it. When I see, I know. Nobody can tell you. Seeing is truth. Truth is seeing. You have to see the truth. Nobody can tell you. No therapist, no religion, priest, God, political savior, whatever. Nobody can tell you what the truth is. You have to see it. And truth is a discovery. And you can only discover the truth when you give up being certain about what the truth is. When you give up knowing what the truth is, you see the whole truth. Because when we know the truth, we only know half the truth. My half of the game. I don't see the whole game because I'm playing it, you see. It's kind of like you're watching a tennis match and you're either in the match playing it or you're sitting in the stands watching it. Well, seeing the game is playing the game and seeing it from the stands at the same time. If you can't see it from the stands, you just think the other guy is trying to kill me. You see, or trying to get me off my spot, and I'm going to get him off his spot, you see. But we keep playing the same game over and over and over again, you see, because we don't see it. So we like our suffering. We love our games. We identify with the games. The games give us a place in life. The games give me meaning. The games gives me an identity, you see. I'm the victim. I'm the winner. Trump, I'm the winner, you see. Join my game and you'll be a winner too. They're all losers. They're all losers because I'm a winner because they're losers. If all the losers went away, then I would lose. Because I can't be a winner unless there's a loser. You see the irony in that? So, this is what the frog brought up from the pond. I hope it helps you in seeing your games because you can see them. But you have to want to see them without judgment, without blame, either blaming the other or yourself. And you have to follow the clues like Sherlock. Sniff out the clues like a bloodhound. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, look, that just happened. When I said this, that happened. Isn't that interesting? Oh, look, I'm connecting dots. I see this. This happened before, just like that. Different stage set, same play. Same emotional reaction. Different people, different things. It's the game. The game is on. What is the game? I've got to find out this game. You see, seeing is power. And seeing is creative action because when you see the game, the seeing is the action of not playing the game. It just stops. It just falls off. We all have that experience when we get involved in something and suddenly we see the futility of it. You see the useless of it, the relationship or the job or the project or something you were so involved in doing, and suddenly you see this is absurd. It just drops off and you just turn and walk away. No regrets, no guilt, no shame. If there's any leftovers, any shame or guilt, you haven't quit the game. You're still playing it. You're still playing it. If there's any leftovers, any regrets, anything that's left on the plate, you see, anything you haven't eaten, you see, when the priest offers the sacrifice of the Eucharist, he drinks the whole martini. He doesn't leave anything in there. Thanks for dropping in.